Hi guys, welcome to my YouTube channel. Today we'll be making this beautiful jacket you just see on your thumbnail. This is an Ankara print. So I'll be cutting out exactly what I needed to make the video shorter. This jacket is actually a combination of an handkerchief flare. So if you are interested in learning how to cut an handkerchief flare, just stay tuned, watch to the end of this video, and you learn one or two things from this. So cutting an handkerchief lead is actually easy. So it's short, is the most simplest flare cutting. It doesn't take time, you're out of it. But in this tutorial we'll be using lining. So and this is just a jacket, using it where you can use it to wear your skirts, can use it to wear your trousers. So please, if you find this video helpful, give me a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel, like and share. Please subscribe to my channel, help my channel to grow. It doesn't cost you anything to do that. So let's dive into the video. So I've actually put my fabric on fold. The length of the top, which is the blouse, the top, whichever way you want to call it, I'm working with is 24 inches. So, and the peplum part, which is the triangular peplum part, is 8 inches. I'll be using the upper part 16 inches. So if you deduct 16 inches from 24, it will give you 8 inches. So I'll be cutting the lower part first, which is the triangular part. So I actually put my fabric on fold. The fabric is not actually equal here. So it's not equal here at this point. Let me just take my ruler. Take my ruler and mark at that part. It's not equal here. So what I will do, I will just make it equal. What I have here is 17 inches. So I'll mark out the 17 inches all through and cut that out. So that is what I'll be using to cut the flare. So I want to cut it out from the main fabric so that you understand better. So I'm just rolling the 17 inches all through. I'll cut this off. So this is what is remaining. So this is how we are going to achieve our triangular cutting. Now we have our fabric folded into two. This is into two this way. Then you fold into 4 again. Mind you, what we have on fold is 17 inches. So this is 17 inches. So into 2 again, we'll be folding by 34 inches. So I'm actually taking my 34 inches outside the service line. I don't want it to be included in the blouse. So this is my 34 inches here. We can as well just cut this part off like so. So that part is off. So what we actually needed is this, which is from here to here. And we cut out the service area. So this is all we need for our triangular cutting, which is the flare part. So now I will go to fold into 2 again. So I'm folding into 2. That is into 4. This is into 2. Then into 4. So we have it into 4. So this is it. So just adjust it to make sure it's laying flat. So this, I find out that this part is not straight, so just straighten it up like so. So this is all we need. So now we want to start cutting this part at which there is no opening. you watch closely, you will see there's an opening here, there's an opening here, and also here. So but here there's no opening at all. So we'll be working on this part because it's a full flare. It's actually a 360 triangular flare. So we're cutting on this part. So what the circumference I'm working with is, I want to round it up. What I needed was 44. I will also make a little print on this flare. So I just want to make the cone, which is the round cutting here. I want to make it 12. So I want to make this part 12. As I'm cutting, you will understand. So now for me to get my 12, I will just put my measurement tape. You can just put it this way and just make a curve. Are you seeing what I'm doing? See this? Try and make a curve wherever you got your 12. So you make a mark at that point. So let's say, see what I'm doing? There's actually a formula for this, but I always find this easy and accurate. So, and this is it. So this is where I got my measurement. So my actual 12 I needed. So if you take from here, you'll be having 7.5 inches. Are you seeing this? From this folded angle to where I marked is 7.5 inches. So I'll be taking that 7.5 inches all through. So this is 7.5 inches. So I will take it also here. Remember, it's a flare, and you cutting a flare, you have to go through this cone cutting. So I will take that 7.5 inches all through, like so. Like so. So you connect all together like this. So this is it. So this is our cone. You see how it is. So for you to know if it's actually correct, so you have to measure again if you have your 12. And this is exactly 12 inches. So that is what I'm working on. But this actually is not standard. It varies from one another. Your upper waist measurements, whichever words you have, you add your extra allowance, divide by 4, because it's folded into 4. So that is how I got this. We're making an arc here. Are you seeing this? This is the arc. We make this arc and connect it to this arc, like so. You see this? We are not actually cutting anything out of this, but I just want to make an illustration for beginners friendly, those that have not actually gotten the idea of cutting a triangular flare. Are you seeing what I'm doing? So this arc will guide you how to cut your triangular flare. In any other flare cutting, that let's assume you want to cut your flare, what I have done so far, I've gotten my triangular flare, because you know your normal flare, you have to go like this way, go this way like this. But this is a triangular flare. That is what you are seeing here. Are you seeing this triangular shape? So that is all we needed. You just cut this off and that's all. But you have to put all your measurements accurately. So now we've gotten our 12 inches, and I said I am using 8 inches. So this is my 8 inches, and I'll be putting just 1 inch sewing allowance, which is 1 inch here. So now I will mark the same thing, 8 inches, 1 inch, that is 9 inch here. So I think I have little 3/4 off. So for triangular cutting, for beginners that are finding it difficult, how will I now know the extra to put here? So if you were to check from here to here, you find out that it's different from here to here. So let's check what we have from this tail to this, and this is 16.5. So the actual one here was 9 inches. Are you seeing this? This is 9 inches. this is the actual length you needed. So but we're having the extra of 9 inches. Sorry, we have extra of, yes, 9 inches. So this is, sorry, we needed 9 inches from here. Sorry, just made a mistake. So this 9 inches was like this. This is our actual flared cutting. This is what I'm marking. This is not what I needed. I'm just making an illustration for it because of beginners. So this is your actual flared, which is this. So this remaining ones here is what we call our triangular extra, like the extra you put to get the triangular shape. So and this is 7 inches. Some persons use 5, 6, depends on how longer you want it. So this is 7 inches, but from our 3/4 here, so I'll be trimming off little, like ½ inch all through this way, like this and like this. So there are ways to reduce it, but if you are reducing, you'll be having these sharp edges at it. That means if you reduce further, you have to now come, like, do you understand, this way, then this way. You will not be having that sharp edge. But I want this to be very sharp, so I will leave it like that. But you can also reduce your flared so that your triangular flared extension will be reduced. So let's say we are reducing by 8.5, which is here, 8.5. This is 8.5. So I will take my ruler and mark the 8.5 this way. Cut this up. So this is the actual one we are using. So I will cut off this part. So these are corn. This is actually a corn. So we keep it aside. So we'll be making a notch on both sides of it, like this. So this is it. You see how it is. So we'll open one end of the flare. So let me go here so you see. Are you seeing how it is? Very beautiful. So this is what we are actually looking on. This is what I was explaining so far. You see the pointed part of the triangle. So we'll keep this aside and work on the upper part. So I'll we'll cut the upper part and come back to cut the lining for this, because there will be lining piece for each of them. So for the upper part and also this flare, we'll keep this aside. So what I did here was just to cut the actual piece I want to use to cut the upper part. So this is more of like a pinafore. It's not actually a full blouse. So what I needed, there's a band at which the elastic will pass through. So we needed 16 inches, which is 24. So 24 minus 8 inches for the flare. So now we have our 16 inches minus 1.5 inches for our band. So I'll put in my tape this way, minus 1.5 inches. Then I'll take the length at which I'm working with. So since I am using 1.5 inches outside, which is for the band, I'll be using 2 inches for the band. That's including the waistband of, minus 2 inches for waistband. So I'll be taking the length. This is 16. So I'll just add ½ inch to it. So this is my half-inch sewing allowance. So I'm just checking this 14 and a half and this 14 and a half. So this is what I'm using for the upper part. So the next thing, I'll take my shoulder measurement here, and this is exactly my shoulder measurement, 7 inches. So I will take the neck opening of 3¼ inches for the neck opening, like so. Then the neck depth, I will take 2½ inches, like so. So just make your slant curve here for the neck. So this is it. Then this is the shoulder line. I will come down by 1 inch here, sorry, to the 1/4 inch to slant the shoulder. So I'll be connecting this to this. So that's it. So for the lower part, we'll be using our nipple to nipple measurement on the lower part. So mine is 4 inches. So I'll be adding just 1 inch seam allowance to it to be able to join the flare at the side, not the lower flare. There's watch the video closely, there's a flare at the side. So I'll be adding 1 inch to it. So on this lower part, I'll be marking 5 inches on the lower part. So this is 5 inches. So I'll connect this part to the shoulder line, like so. So I'll cut this like this. I'll cut this part off. And cut this off. Just open this like so. And cut this off. So this is it. So this is our back and front. So now we'll keep the back aside and work on the front. There is an opening at the front, so you can as well just slit it open. But I want to work on the neckline. So for the front neck, I'll be using 4 inches. You can use 4½. So okay, let's say we are using 4½ inches, like so. So you make your curve like this. So you cut this off. So this is it. So these are front parts and this is our back part. So I'll be opening this front part like this. So this is it. So I have this as the front and this for the back. So just need to cut a lining piece for each of them. So if the fabric is more, you can as well use your fabric. So this is my triangular flare. I added the turn facing to it. So this is it. So this is the lining. So the next thing, I will lining this part of it. So straight it out like so. Then you lay your lining on top of it. So you lay your lining on top of this. If you've watched this far and you find the video interesting, please give me a thumbs up. Subscribe to my channel. So this is it. So I will take it to the sewing machine now. We'll sew round these parts. We'll sew here, sew round it like so. So you only leave here open. So we'll be sewing from one end here to the other end with half inch all through till you get to this part. So let's keep this aside. Then for the upper part of it, I have two pieces here. This is for the back and this is for the front. The front I have four pieces. So this is the front, this is the part that's facing, so this is the front part of it, like so. I saying this, so this is it. So I have four pieces of it. So the fabric is actually the lining piece. So these are my bands. This is the band that will be underneath it like this before the flared, before the flared. So one will serve as lining piece. So what we do right now, you open up this. Since one is serving as your lining piece, you take one, put this way, then we sew half inch on the shoulder line, half inch on the shoulder line. So whatever you do to one piece, you do to the next piece also. So half inch on the shoulder line also, then half inch this way. So I will do that lining the flared and show you how to attach both together. So I've joined the shoulder. So this is it, as I explained earlier. So I have the main piece. This is the main piece. This is the main piece. So I also have the lining piece. They are the same. So whichever one you want to use. So this is it, and this is it. So the next thing, then I have my flare here. So this is my flare. I'm done ironing. So see how beautiful it is. So this is it. This is it. So the next thing, there's a flare around the shoulder to the waist. So this video is actually a step by step. We are not rushing it. So this is the front part. So lay this on it, right side facing each other, like so. So you align them around the neck, around the shoulder, shoulder to shoulder, then this way. So we'll sew around the neck. So this is where we'll be sewing. We'll be sewing here, round the neck, like so, to this part. Then we'll also sew this part. But before we sew this part, there's a flare around this part, which is here. There's a flare on it. So we'll sew around the neck like this to this side. See how it is. So this is the front part and these are the sides, which is your shoulders line. So we only sew around here to this side. Then before we sew this side and this side, we'll be cutting the flare. So before we sew right now, we have to take the measurement. Before you cut your flare, you take the measurement of what you are having from here to here, which is from the back to the front. So now we take the measurement. You have to leave half inch to join to the band. So we removing half inch, measure all the way to the front piece, and this is 26 inches minus half inch here also. So we cut the flare that will be around the side now. So I have my fabric unfold into 4. This is 1, 2, 3, and 4. So what I have here is 11.5 by 11.5. So I actually want the width, which is the length of the flare, to be 6 or 6.5 after sewing. So I just put 11.5 on fold. So I will explain what we are going to do now. Now we've measured this part of the jacket. Now we've gotten 26, so we use the 26 to cut our flare. Now it's on fold this way. So we'll be cutting on these folded parts now. So whatever you mark should be on the folded part. This is into two. Before we cut, we place it for this. So this will be for one part of the body, then this will be for the other part of the body. So, and what we needed is 26 inches. So your 26 divide by 4, because your fabric is folded into 4, we give you 6.5. So now I'll be using 4.2 as my cone to get my 6.5. So I'll mark 4.2 here. I'll just take it round like so. 4.2 this way. The reason I'm using 4.2 because I will explain. So you connect the lines together to form your cone. So 4.2. So I will measure now if I will be able to have my 6.5 plus half inch sewing allowance. So, and this is exactly 6.5. So what I needed was 6.5, which is exactly 26 inches. I will measure, but we also needed sewing allowance of half inch. So what we will do now, instead of cutting on this line, we will just take 2 units around it like so. So instead of the first line, we'll be taking this one like so, just 2 units. That will be our sewing allowance. So I will measure this new one now. Let's see what will be there. And this is 6.8. So this is okay. So that is the one we'll be cutting at. So the next thing is to take the length of the flare. You know, I said after sewing it should be 6. So what I have left right now is 6.5. So we'll make do with that. So with my 6.5, I'll mark it all round 6.5, 6.5. Whatever length you wishes to use, that is what you will use for yours. So mark 6.5 all through. So this is 6.5. So after which you connect all together 6.5. I guess this is clear enough. So this is the length we are working on. So before we cut, we place it on this and we'll cut it out. So we'll be having our two pieces, which is the right and the left hand side. So make sure you place it well. So since the fabric is not enough again, you have to cut the lining piece for this. So we'll cut here. So this is it. I've cut out for both. So what we'll do is just to notch one part of it. We will also cut out something. Just hold on as I explain. If you watch closely on that picture, you find out that one side is not same. So I will use this for the lower part. This will be on the shoulder part, which is, so I'll place it on each shoulder this way. So now we have this way, left and the right part of the sleeve, more of. So place it on this shoulder like this. So this is it. So now this side will be on the shoulder part, then this side will be on the lower part, and it's slanted. The shoulder part is longer than this side. So what I will do is to reduce this part, by 3. So this is 3. So I'll mark 3 like so. 3. This part will be on the waistline, around the waist. So this is 3. So what you do now, you connect from here like so. Let me just connect it so you see what I'm trying to say. So this is it. So this will be around the shoulder, which is towards your arm. Then this side will be towards the side. So you can as well just, you can make here. The more you go, you can reduce it. Let's say, let me explain. If you are using 3 here, as you are going, you'll be reducing it, because from the marking you find out that this side is more smaller than this side. So this was 3. If you check here now, you see that this part is 1.5. So that is how it is. Then you cut out that part that you don't need. So we'll cut this off like so. Just walk around it, whichever way you find easy. You see what I'm doing? So this is it. So then we'll open this part up like so. This is the part that will go to the lower part. So this is it. So I want to open one of them. So you see how beautiful it is. So this will be, this part that is longer will be around the shoulder, then this will be around the waist. So this is how it is. So what is here now, we use it to cut our lining. So this is it. So we'll cut lining for both, then also an interface for it. I'll cut an interface to just to make it stable a little. So I'll do that, lining it, and show us how to attach it to this. Flared at the side of the clothes. See how it is. So I've added my interface to it, and this is my lining piece. So there's something I want to do here that I didn't talk about earlier. I'll fold it back to its original size, the actual size it was before. So this is it. I'll just take a pin and hold it down. So this is it. This part of it that will be coming to the waist, I want it sharp. I don't know if you watch that video closely, you find out that this part is not actually showing much. So it will be from here to this side. I will draw it out so you see what I'm talking about. So let me use a yellow chalk so you see what I'm trying to explain. So that is what I did at the side. Let me just pin this down. So this part, this is where you attach to the shoulder line, which is here, this side of the cloth. So this part of it now, I will just take half, or let's say 7 units here on this part, not this part. So 7 units here, then you slant it like this to this side. So we're actually removing this part. It's not relevant because it's not needed around the waist. This part is not needed. We need a bend sharp here. So we'll cut this off. Make sure both are equal before you cut. Okay, they are. I'm just checking my lining, my main fabric. So they are equal. So I'll cut this out. Let me mark it very well. Are you seeing this? So we'll cut this off. Like so. So this is it. Before we go aligning now. So whatever I do to this, that is what I will do to the other parts of the flag also. So I will remove my pins and I will go aligning this. Iron it and explain how to join it to the dress. So you see how it is now. So this is actually the end parts of curving it. So this is how I want it. This is it. This is the two pieces. So I'm lining both of them. This is it. So you have to attach it to the main body. So make a notch on this, hold it back like this, and make a notch on the midpoint like so. So this is my midpoint now. We just put the pin to secure it down. So you put that midpoint around the shoulder line. So I'll remove one piece first, which is the lining piece. So I'm assuming this is my main piece. So I'll put this on it like so. So you take it down, make your print. Are you seeing this? So this is how you do it. You just print little, little till you exhaust what you have there. So it will be like this. Are you seeing this? Before we're not lining it. So I will do that now. I'll put it down. You make sure you are leaving half inch underneath this way and half inch this way. So pin the notch part to the shoulder line. So I'll do that at both sides. Then after putting this, you use your lining as I explained earlier. So you put your lining on top after putting this. After putting this on it, so it will be inside now. Let's assume this is inside. So you put your lining piece on it also. So you sew this way like so. Then you put the other one this way too. Then you sew like this. Then you sew the front to the neck. So I'll do that and show us how it looks like. But for the front part, let me remove this. So this is our front part. Are you seeing this? These are our front part. It's the front part that have the opening. So this is the front part. So we'll be using two buttons, the upper part and the lower part. So the upper part, this is the little piece I'll be using for the button. So I'll cut it into two because I'm using two buttons for this. So before aligning, I'll put this on this like this, half inch from the neckline like this. So before you put this on top like so, so you sew around your neck and on top that to the ending. So let me do that now. I'll show you how it looks like before we put our band and our triangular flare. So we have our main bodies here. So I've attached the flag. So we have our main bodies here. So this is how the inside look like. So this is how the inside look like. You see how neat it is. This is the back part, and this is the front part of it, of the top. So this is where we put our button here like so. So the next thing is to put the band, then your flare. So the the band, I want it to, which is round this part, I want it to be 40. My actual waist there is 35, but and this cone, this part, I got 50, exactly 50. That was what I got around this part. I'm just trimming out the rough interfacing that is here and the lining that is coming out. So I got 50. So now I said we need 40. So we make, okay, I have my midpoint here, which is the notch part. So now we print this randomly to get 40 before we attach to the band. So I will assume, take your band this way. So take your band. Sorry, it's like this band is more than 40. It's more than 40. So I'm actually doing 41 and a half because of the front part that I will put my button on. So I will have to fold this part inward after sewing. So I did 41 instead of 40. So at this part, I will make a midpoint. I will notch the midpoint on the band like so. So just make a mark there. So this is my midpoint here. This is my midpoint here. So I'll bring the flag and put it there. I will open it up. So actually, unfold is 5 inches. Sorry, 4 inches unfold the band. This is it. So I opened it up. You open it up now this way. So you get your midpoint again. This is your midpoint here, like so. So I'll put it inside. So you just watch what I'm doing. I'll put it, make sure what you are putting inside like is half inch. So I'll pin it down here. So that is the midpoint. So I will start printing this now. So let's say, remember I said we will use half inch for this part of it. So I will keep half inch aside and start printing. So let me put this here. So that is how we do it. I will just print it randomly. Print and pin down. So I'll do that and show us how it is. So all the excess we have here, we'll print it this way, the same with this side. So I will just pin it and show you how it is. So this is it. I've pinned it all around the band to the end, leaving just the half inch on the side. This half inch, I will open it up like so, then sew it closed. But I'll be putting this for the button inside before sewing. That was why I left that half inch. So what I'm trying to illustrate is this. So I'll put this way. You see this way. then fold back the band like so, open it up this way, then I will sew that half inch off before I will turn it out. So that was why I left that half inch at that part. So now, which is the 5 inches plain, the same with this part, the 5 inches plain. So from here, which is the 5 inches here mark, so this 5 inches from here to here, that is what I will use to put my elastic. So I have here 16 inches. So my actual waist was 35 minus 5 here, 5 here, that is 10. So that will give me 25 inches. So this elastic here is 16 inches. So this is 16, that is 16. So I'll be using this 16 inches. I actually want it fuller. So if we were to have a lot of fabric, you cut two of these, join it, then you will have enough volume for that elastic effect on around the waist. So I'll be managing this because this is the only fabric I have, so I'll manage it. So now I will, so we join this part, which is the back, with the midpoint of, you notch the midpoint of the upper part, then you join it to this part like so, and you put it this way and sew it down this way. Then for the front part, which is here, do the same here too. So it will be at the front here like this. Are you seeing what I'm doing? So this is it. We do the same to this part like so. So I will do all that to show us how it looked like. So you just pick the front now, so from this part like this to this part, so which is, you are joining both together like this. Are you seeing this? Then this to this like this. Then mind you, your elastic already is inside the channel, so you just look for a way to hide your rough edges of this upper part, which is the front piece here, and the back. So that's all. Then we'll put our button for the waist and the button for the up. So I'll put it on and show you the final look of the jacket. This is the outcome, though I've not put my buttons, but this is it. This is the elastic I was talking about. So it's from that 5 inches here, so the other 5 inches on the other side this way. So this is it. So I want to put it on now. So this is the back part. So I'll put it on. You can use this to wear your skirt, your trouser. So I'm saying this. So you put your button here, and here. So this is it. See how gorgeous it is. See the effect of the elastic I was talking about. So this is so nice. So if you find this video helpful, please give me a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel, put on your notification bell so that when I upload beautiful videos like this, you get notified. Share with your loved ones. So this is the back piece. If you want to achieve more volume of this flare, you can cut two of these. That will be this one. When we're cutting, remember it was cut in 360. You can cut two of it to give you 720 degree. So if you cut 720, you have a fuller effect. So you have to have enough fabric to do that. So this is just the last fabric from a last project I did. So I said let me make do with it. And it the outcome is so nice. Like this is so beautiful. So this is it.